Hi everyone, welcome and welcome to AHT101, Professional Skills in Agriculture and Horticulture. So I'm Peter Mills, I'm the subject convener for the whole subject. I'm also the subject coordinator for the online cohort. Georgie Lolf will be taking care of the internal students. Now, the first thing to say is that this subject is more about academic skills than it is about agriculture. However, the academic skills are embedded in an agricultural context. Now, when you enter Interact and you click on AHT 101, you will land on what is known as the welcome page. So this is the welcome page that you're seeing. And if we look at the welcome page, I've put together a short welcome video. There are some notes about the subject. There's also a link to an introduction and welcome letter. So click on that link, it opens up a letter and it introduces you to the subject. Now, to get started, what you need to do is each week you need to go to the weekly instructions tab, click on that, read what's there, and then make sure you keep up each week. If you do find links missing, or things are not working, report them to me straight away and I'll get them fixed as soon as I possibly can. Also on the welcome page, just for your convenience, I've put the assessment items that are due and their due dates. So have a good look at those. There's a little bit of more information about assessment item number 1, in fact, and you can read about that there. What is important is that while you're a student, you do have free access to Microsoft Office 365, and there are links here for you to be able to download that, and you can use that for the duration of your studies. Now, each week, what you'll see in the weekly instructions tab is that there will be weekly instructions. Each week, new ones will go up, and the latest ones will be at the top. So have a good look at those instructions, have a look at the due dates, and make sure that you keep up to date. Now, for those of you who are fly in, fly out and want to keep ahead, you can click on the schedule. There is a rather colorful Excel file there, which points out the lecture activities, the tutorial activities or self-study activities, the online meetings, and in the right-hand side when the assignments are due. So you can also see what is due when by just going to the subject outline. Now, on the left-hand side, there is a menu of items in the Interact site. The most important thing is that this subject is more about academic skills. So the first thing you need to go to each week, according to the weekly instructions, is go to the academic skills tutorial, and you'll see that Karen Davidson, who delivers these to the internals, has put together some recordings together with any documents that she mentions in the tutorial. So there's 5 tutorials. One of them is the library one. This is the library one. And for each tutorial, there are documents attached. And it's important that you watch, listen to, and access those documents each week that we have an academic skills tutorial. Now, all of those components have been put together into what we call an encyclopedic resource. So this is the writing in science, and everything that we learn in the academic skills is actually set out in this encyclopedia of academic skills. Next thing is that modules. So each week you'll study a different module, and this is the ag component. And it's really important that you go through these each week because your assignments are based on these modules. If we go into a specific module, just to show you what is there, what you'll see is that there is a menu of what's in the module. You can open and close that by clicking these links, and then you can move your way through the module by clicking these arrows on the right-hand side. You can also access the various components just by clicking on the links here. So for each module, they're all structured in the same way. What you'll get is you'll get a little bit of an introduction. You'll be given the learning outcomes. There's a little bit of a note to say that if things are not working, get hold of me. And then there is a section which describes the module resources. So what you'll find here is that there are some resources, some notes, there are PowerPoints available, and then there are recordings of the lectures given to the internals. Now, the internals lectures are divided into two components. One is a lecture. The second one is an interactive tutorial. So this is the interactive tutorial, and that is the recording. And the other thing is that any materials that are shared with students in those lectures are also provided as links. Now, some of the modules will have what we call field walks, and this is an example of where the students are taken by the lecturer on a field walk. And for the distance students, we've recorded those. We've had the media people record them, edit them. They're nice and succinct, and you can watch those where appropriate. Then within the module are the actual notes, and these are the materials that are actually presented. So you can either watch the recordings or you can work through the notes to study the modules. Also important here is in the main menu, you'll find that there are academic contacts. And so the first point of contact is Student Central if you've got administrative problems. Otherwise, you get hold of me if you've got issues or you want to discuss something. And then if there's something that you want to discuss about your degree, you get hold of your course director, which is either Matt Hunt or Celia Barrell. Also in the main menu, you'll find that there is an announcements tab, and you can see that on a regular basis, I will make announcements, and these will also go to you via your email. Now, what does happen sometimes is that depending on what email program you utilize, sometimes if we send something and it's got pictures or links that they don't actually appear as they should, if that's the case, and it doesn't appear or the format is a bit messed up in your email, then just go to the Interact site, click on the announcements tab, and read the announcements in the announcements tab. Now, another really important aspect of the Interact site is the discussions forum, and there are several discussions forums. The most important one to start off with is the introductions forum. For each of the forums, there are instructions, and if you click on the forum, you can create a thread, put your name, and create your thread, and then post it so that we can learn a little bit about you. For the other forums, you can ask questions. We post stuff about the subject as we go through. Now, another very important aspect of the Interact site is the online meeting tab. Now, to enter the online meeting tab, all you do is you click this link here. But before you do that, what you need to do is you need to go to the link that's provided here and sign in, set up your Zoom account within CSU. And what we do advise is that each week before you go into the online meeting, and there's an online meeting every week, before you go into the meeting, just make sure you go to your Zoom account, log in, and that just makes compatibilities a whole lot easier for you. So each week, what will happen is that we will record the meeting. So there'll be a link, which is a recording to the meeting. And any documents that we share or show in the meeting, there are links to those documents there. So this is last year's site, just showing you what it looks like, and what to expect when it gets going. Now, this all does look rather ominous, and really, it's important that all you do each week is read the weekly instructions, do what we've asked you to do in the weekly instructions. Just make sure that you have a good look at the subject outline and read it from top to bottom. There are several ways of looking at it. Personally, I personally prefer just downloading the PDF version, and this is what the PDF version looks like. It's just documents in PDF format, and there's a schedule. It tells you when your assignments are due. It tells you what topics you'll be doing each week. And if you go further down, there are the assignments. So all that's left for me to say is welcome to CSU, welcome to AHT 101. You'll learn the basics of academic skills, which you'll take through into further subjects that you study. And so just make sure that you keep up with the schedule, with the weekly instructions, and you should be good to go. It's a fairly simple subject, and it's just a matter of disciplining yourself and keeping up with the instructions. Good luck with your studies.